Fine. How are you?
I'm beautiful. I'm
I
beautiful.
was busy. I was busy 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Last 2 weeks. Yeah, last 2 weeks I was busy.
It's all good. I never actually knew that in India, the time is like literally all the way at night. It's like 12 with your time. So I really commend you for attending consistently.
Okay.
Beautiful. So today, I haven't done any analysis yet. So that's the good part. So I'm going to be going from the start. Um, the Bitcoin trade, there was a massive manipulation on Bitcoin on Friday. And let me quickly just pop that. Let me pop that chart in here for a second so we can look into it a little bit. Okay, this is it. Oh, wow, I disabled the waiting room, but it's still happening. So basically, looking at Bitcoin, right, you can see it's only on this Friday that we had this week, and this was because of Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. You understand? Just literally made a little bit of statement, and boom, Bitcoin went all the way up. Naturally, Bitcoin should have come down, but those are things we cannot foresee in this, in this game. So it's all good. But I'm glad with the other two trades that we had, and everything was perfectly fine and smooth. So this week, let's run the analysis together. So guys that are new here, there are a lot of things to be learned. The COT report, a lot of you might have not heard about COT report. It's basically the reports for the banks, the big banks and commercial people, the position that they're trading, right? It shows us which position they're trading, and then we just align ourselves with that. Then we of course have the seasonality tools, which shows the season of the year, which an asset is going to move in a specific direction. Right here in the UK, we have spring, autumn, winter, and summer. The market also has its own season, so you just have to align yourself with that season and ride that. And then we have the probability tools, which shows us what's the percentage of win at a specific date. Quite frankly, we've changed the probability a little bit. The probability is now totally different. I know before we used to look at it in terms of trading days. Now we no longer do that. We're looking at it the way it is right now in terms of dates. So just to run through the analysis very quickly, so and then if you have questions, we can ask questions. I tend to keep it at 40 minutes maximum. I don't want to make it too long. So that being said, let's do a quick analysis. Let's check gold first. Let's see what the commercials are doing on gold. So on gold, right, let me just put out notes. Let me just quickly, where's my note gone? Okay, that's it right here. So right now we have gold. So we have gold on short. Let's see, short. So basically, right now, what I'm looking at is commercials. What are these guys doing? The commercials are the people, mainly the people producers in this market. So we have the gold miners. Sometimes we have companies that mine for natural resources, mining for diamond, silver, and all of that stuff. And these, in terms of these commercials, we have central banks also in these categories. So what we tend to do is we tend to follow commercials, and these guys, non-commercials, are retail traders, people like you and I, and some small hedge funds and some small banks as well, like in the non-commercial aspect. So in this game, we tend to follow the commercials, and what we can see right now, they put more position to the short position on gold. So with the COT, we have gold on short, right? So let's check another asset. So we know that COT, we have gold on short. Let me check the dates. The date, this came out on the 26th, which is last week, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Yeah, so last week Tuesday. So this is quite fresh data. It's a week lag, but we tend to run with that week lag anyway. That's as quick as we can get it. So let's go to the next asset. We check CHF. Let's see if we have an opportunity for CHF. We have small opportunity on the short side. CHF go short. T. I'm just gonna put small in bracket, right? We have three ways to go through this. So next short, and then we have JPY. Let's check what JPY says. We have JPY on the long. They're putting more position towards the long. They're taking position away from the short side. So JPY is adding more long position. JPY long, right? And wow, there's quite a lot of trades this week. Compared to last week, we didn't have much. So Euro, wow, they're going long on Euro as well. So I don't think I'm gonna do all of these analysis, but I'm just gonna do as many as I can so I can have time for a bit of questions. So euro, we have the long position in euro, and then we check USD. USD is still a little bit unstable right now. I really want to stay away from USD because it seems like a high risk at the moment. So I'm just gonna put USD regardless. But USD, they have more positions on the long side, so we go long, and then we just put high risk next to USD. They just did their power transition, new president, and all of that. So CAD, let's check what CAD is doing. This week is very beautiful. CAD has a massive short. So CAD, we have short. If you don't understand what I'm doing, just bear with me a second. Basically, this is one of three things that we do. Just quickly check the COT report, see where these guys are positioned first. So we then look at the seasonality for filter. So let's go GBP. GBP did well last week. I actually want to do JPY this week. Um, so we have long on GBP. GBP. All right, let's go to the next one. AUD. Come on, man. Every single thing has. Wow, we have so much trade this week, guys. So AUD long, right? And AUD is looking good on the seasonality. I could tell by last week. So they're all taking out position from the short side. And NZD, let's see what NZD has. Taking out position from the short side, put more towards the long side. So we put NZD long, right? So now, basically, just by looking at this, you might think, wow, there's so many assets right here. And how do we pair them up? Which pair are we going to trade? So what we're going to do next is we're going to quickly check the seasonality and check gold seasonality, right? The seasonality is the chart that shows us the season of the year in which the asset is meant to move in specific directions. So from gold, what we can see here on the COT is short, right? So what's the date of today's date is let me just quickly go back. Today's date is 31st, right? So we're gonna check 31st. So gold is not meant to be short up until, we want to get the part that all three are aligned. So up until somewhere around here, we want to short gold. So for that reason alone, let me just check 31st one more time. Yeah. So for that reason alone, I won't be trading gold on the short this week. So I would eradicate gold away from my short positions. A lot of people, and I know a lot of people, when you look at all this people that are analyzing the market, a lot of people just look at the chart straight, start drawing lines. I'm not trying to draw lines, that's too long. I just want to get as much positions as I can by doing the little amount of work and more accurate as possible. So the next thing I'm going to do is check the CHF. So this is how the prices move in specific years. So we have, depending on the chart, we have 40, 15, and 5 years, how the market has moved in that interval. So the blue line is 40 years, the red line is 15, the yellow line is 5 years. And that's how market has moved on an average in those years. And we just use that as an indicator to check what's going to happen next. And it's pretty accurate. I've been using it for years and it's been working perfectly fine. So what I can see is this, right? With CHF, there's a lot of confusion. Tomorrow, right now, we have that buy that's going to last to the 4th. So that's 4 days straight. But you can see it's a lot of choppiness. It doesn't really show a specific direction. If I check this, COT report shows me what the big banks are doing. They're going short on this asset. And right here, the COT is telling me long, which means that I'm not trading CHF. I'm going to delete CHF out of my list, right? And we move to the next one, JPY. So let's check JPY. So basically, we get all the assets down from COT, then use the seasonality to eliminate the ones that are not good for us to trade. So we check JPY. We go JPY right round. Okay. So we don't have anything on JPY up until 31st ain't good. So that's not good enough because it's not aligned. But we have alignment on the 5th. Which, if I'm not mistaken, the 5th should be Friday. We have short on Friday, and what's JPY telling us? Long, so I'm taking that out of my equation. JPY is out. Okay, we go to the next one. So as you can see, we had so many assets to begin with. Now we've started deleting, and so far we've deleted about 3 assets out of the list of noteworthy of being traded this week. Let's go to Euro. Let's see what Euro is saying. The chart is a bit choppy on Euro, but from around the 3rd or the 5th, between the 3rd and the 5th, it's quite choppy. Let me see what these guys are saying. They're going long, so I mean, the 1st is good to the 3rd. We have 1st to the 3rd. This is a very, very risky trade. I don't like taking small tips, you know, so I'm just going to put risk. I'm going to skip Euro, but I'm going to put risk right next to it. So I might come back to it later if we don't find anything worthy to trade. USD is already a risky trade for me. I personally want to stay away from USD, but I'm just going to check it. I'm going to check it for checking's sake to see if we can find anything suitable in USD to trade. Let's go. So 31st USD, we have that short until on the 4th. So let me see. No, it's looking for long. The commercials are going long. So, and the long is not going to happen until the 4th. So, which means the USD from the 4th, we have long, which is on Thursday. So USD is only worthy of trading from Thursday. And we're going to trade that from all the way to 4th to on the 13th of March. So we're going to ride USD from the 4th to the 13th, even though it's an high risk trade. So we're going to put 4th to 13th, right? So we're going to go long. And we're going to come back to that for a second. We're going to come back later on. So what we have so far, it's high risk. So next thing, let's go check CAD. Let's see what CAD is. I know I'm moving fast, by the way. The more you attend the webinar, the more you're going to literally understand, you know, understand how we actually doing this stuff. So let's check. Okay, let's check. 31st, we ain't have nothing. On the 3rd, let me check. They're looking for short, massive. So CAD is looking for that short, massive. But what we can see now on this is on the 3rd of February, we have the 15 and the 5 years pointing towards the short side. Short means sell, by the way, guys. The guys that don't know, short means sell, long means buy. But the 40 years does not align. So this falls into a medium risk already trade, because I would have loved all 3 lines to align. But on the 3rd, right there, we can see short. So I put medium risk. All right. So let's check GBP for long. Let's see if we have any GBP on the long side. Okay, wow. Just by looking at this, guys, I'm not even gonna touch GBP. I'm just gonna skip. GBP. The main reason is all of this don't make sense. If it was somewhere around here, I would have gladly taken the trade. Here, I'll attack taking the trade, but that's about it. I'm not gonna touch that at all. Next, move to AUD. Let's see what AUD is saying. All right, let's check AUD. Let's see. So AUD right here on the 31st, which we're not going to trade on 31st. We're trading from the 1st, which is tomorrow. So from the 1st, we have up until the 4th before we see that. So AUD long. So I'm just going to put good next to it because, let me delete GBP, by the way. Put good next to it because we have like at least 3 days plus, about 4 days. But we have to be careful of this sharp drop because that drop seems to be happening almost every single time around the 4th. You know, so we're going to take that AUD and then let's check NZD. See what NZD has to offer us. And right now, it might seem like, what am I getting at? Which trade am I pointing towards? Just be calm with me for a second, guys. The guys have already been with me for a long time already know what I'm doing. So the first, so the second is actually the day for the long on NZD, and we're also looking at long, so which is, okay. So up until the 4th, it's similar to AUD. We have that similarity to AUD. I'm gonna put that It's okay. I'm gonna put that okay. I'm not really trusting this. That drop is too big for me. So far we have Euro, USD, CAD, AUD, NZD. AUD seems to be a good one. USD seems to be a high risk. CAD, okay, it's all good. Now the next thing we do is we jump to probability. As I said, we've changed the probability a little bit, right? This year. So um, before it's different to what it was now. The people that know how we used to do it, we do it based on trading days before, but now we do it based on the dates now. And this is the first week of doing it on dates now. So just to make it a little bit more understandable for people. So Euro, we're gonna check all Euro assets and that's going long around this date. So we're gonna find Euro, Euro. So Euro, let's start with Euro CHF. So let's see what Euro CHF gives us on the first. So Euro CHF on the first, let me check. So we're going long. So Euro CHF gives us on the first 83% of a buy, 80%, 63, 68, 63%. Wow, this is very, whoa. And it just keeps giving us that high percentage on the buy. Quite frankly, the entire month, it's a buy. So let me check. Euro CHF seems to be all the way through buy. Let me check something. Maybe we got something wrong somewhere. Give me 2 seconds. This data is quite frankly very new. So give me a moment. Let me just quickly really check something. If hopefully it's not been messed up somewhere. As I said, this is the first week we're using it. It looks very suspicious because it's giving me buy all the way through. I'm not seeing any sell, which is um very suspicious for me. Seems Euro seems to be strong based on the new data that we've received. Just give me 2 seconds. Let me check something else. That's all for me, guys. Huh. Okay, guys, I think, okay, this is giving me a sell here. This is my first time ever seeing data because the data that we have now is over 40 years data and it's showing me a new angle. So let's just go with what we have now. If I suspect there's anything wrong in the long term, I'm gonna literally recall back the trade by the evening, before the end of today. So basically on February, the 1st of February, we have an 83% of buy, 80% buy, 63, 68, 63% buy on Euro CHF. So what we're gonna do is we go to the market, we go look for Euro CHF. Let's see, Euro CHF. So this is Euro CHF. So what, based on the analysis that we are seeing, if we go back to the seasonality and check Euro, let me go check Euro. We don't need COT anymore. All right. Yeah, so the first to the third, it's giving us buy. So basically, what this market is telling me now is Euro CHF on the first, I should buy this asset and I should be out by the third. Now I'm gonna ignore probability. Saying I should keep holding until the end of the month. I'm not really trying to take that much risk on it, because of seasonality is telling me it's gonna drop further. So what I'm gonna do in this scenario is I'm gonna start plotting my technical analysis. Where is the best part to buy from? And just by looking at this asset, and the people that don't know, that are new to this class, we have the 250 and the 20 moving average, right? And then we have like support and resistance. You can get in support and resistance. But from what I know, based on assets, this period right here seems like where price is unable to break out before. So that was a resistance at one point. So that resistance will now be support. So my entry is most likely going to be, somewhere in between the lines. And from just looking at this, what I can tell is there's a 200 moving average in the 4 hours. So Euro CHF On Monday, we wait for the market to pull back to the 200 moving average and we buy. We buy this trade on Monday and then we exit by Wednesday maximum. Someone has a question. Check AED as it is being on short since 21st of January, but probability is saying long those dates. Yes, basically the thing about see some has a question. The thing about the probability is that you don't rely solely on the probability. We mix it together with the seasonality and the COT. If the COT is saying something and seasonality is saying the same thing as the COT, but the probability is saying something different, you don't take that trade regardless. You understand? So you need the alignment between the COT and probability to be able to make that decision. B, you're right on my screen, mate. I don't know how to delete that. I'm not really sure on how to delete that, so I'm just gonna leave that for now. Um, wait, hold on, let me check. Can I erase? Clear outline. Yeah, that's it. All right. So basically, what we can see right here is this, right? Around this period, around this point right here, see where the 50 moving average and the 20 moving average is right here, is also similar to where the 200 moving average is right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mark this zone right here and come to the 4 hours, and my entry is gonna be somewhere between here and here. They're just 3 pips apart. So I'm gonna buy Euro CHF on this day, and since I know it's a 3-day trade, if I'm buying from here, my first take profit is probably going to be around here because there's a resistance around that point. It hasn't broken through that part yet. And my other take profit is going to be somewhere around here. The main reason I chose this side is this, right? It was just the bottom half giving support here, giving support here. And price, you can see a lot of wicks around here, right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy here and exit my final trade right here. It's 44 pips. This asset is very slow, so it's still something you can, hold on to. So in this case, we're going to say trade Euro CHF. I'm going to put that as long. Exit Wednesday. So I'll enter on Monday. Let me see. Monday. So I enter on Monday, I exit on Wednesday, right? So that's the first trade of this week. So we have the Euro CHF on a buy and we exit there. So the next thing we're going to do is go to the next probability. So we have the Euro CHF. Let's check the Euro JPY. Let's see if we have any possibility of a buy. Similar thing applies to Euro JPY. It's giving us a buy on 70 something percent. So that's quite a high percentage, to buy with. Just quickly checking these data because this data seems to be very, very bullish compared to what we had before. In 2 seconds. Yeah. So basically, Euro JPY seems to be more long on that part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come and check Euro JPY. Euro JPY. Oof, it's already going up anyway. So from Euro JPY, what I can see, it's already, the Euro seems to be very bullish already. So yes, it's never been this long. Basically, we had the datas before, but we changed them a little bit this week. So they're practically very new data, and they're longer in period now. These data is from 1970s. So from the 1970s up until last week, that's the data that we have, and most of them are pointing long. I'm gonna re-verify that data by tonight and make sure that we are perfectly on track with that because they're quite new. The old data we had were not this bullish, but I'm just going to go and trust the data at the moment. It's practically very new, but don't worry about it. If I spot any difference, I'm definitely going to post it up on Telegram and let you guys know that, look, we're making corrections to those data. But so far, what we can see is the Euro JPY also is pointing long. Now, what I can see from just looking at this chart, I can look at this part and see, look, there's resistance around this level, right? There's massive resistance around this level. And price is broken out of that region, but hasn't retested that region yet. So there's a possibility price is going to come back, retest this level before going back up on Monday. So we might see a gap to the downside. And lo and behold, there's a 20 moving average just moving close to the line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait to the 20 exponential moving average on what's it called tomorrow to go into this trade. So Euro JPY, I'm going to be going in at the 20 moving average on a long around this period. So I'm just going to go Euro JPY. I'm going to go for long, right? That's another long on Euro JPY right there. So that's two assets we found so far. Let's move to the next one. So we're going to go Euro USD. Euro USD is the most manipulated asset in this market. So I'm really, really careful about this asset. And this is also giving me quite massive longs as well. Let me just check the data all the way through. There might be something up with this data, to be quite frank, because everything is giving me long. I haven't seen any significant short in this data. It's quite new, as I said. So it's also giving me long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait on Euro. Actually, I'm not going to trade Euro USD because of the risk associated with this asset. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to move on to the next one in the line. We have the USD long. So let's check the USD assets instead. So USD CHF, let's see what it says. USD CHF, 50-50 and long. Let me just quickly check the USD. Let me just check the USD data. All right. So USD data is saying, so on the 4th, so 4th is the data I'm going to actually trade USD JPY. And what I'm looking at right here, yeah, 4th for long and saying long. So I'm not going to trade USD JPY till the 4th, in which if we look at USD JPY, okay, there's definitely going to be a pullback on this one. I'm already even seeing what the take profit is most likely going to be. Take profit is going to be 200 moving average on a daily chart, but entry is going to be somewhere around here. So on the 4th, which is Thursday, that's when we're actually going to trade this asset. So what I'm going to be looking to do is USD JPY. I'm going to buy that on Thursday, but I'm going to wait for the price to pull back to around this 50 moving average. So 50 moving average will be my entry. My exit will be 200 moving average. That's 146 pips. So what I'm going to do is USD JPY is the JPY long on Thursday. So on Thursday, we're going to go in on long and exit right there for USD JPY. And let's check another USD. Which I said that? No, that's USD CHF. My bad. Let me check USD JPY actually. Let me see if I'm actually on the same part. I made a mistake with that one. USD JPY. Yeah, we're still correct. So USD CHF, next one. Let me just quickly pop onto that. Yeah, USD CHF. I'm not trading this up until Thursday. Price is trapped between here. So my probable entry will be somewhere around here. Just looking at it, I'm looking at the next support line where price is going to look for support just to be able to break through. And because the USD trade is going to be, I think it's going to actually be a long-term trade. Let me check.
Sorry to disturb. I can see a inverse head and shoulder pattern in USD JPY.
You can see what?
Head and shoulder, reverse head and shoulder.
Head and shoulder in USD JPY. Let me just pop back to it.
Yeah, see this last one. Yeah, reverse head and shoulder pattern. It will go up.
Yeah, but it's coming down first. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to pull back down first.
Yeah. It will retouch the broken zone.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's most likely going to retest 50 moving average right here. That's what I'm planning for. 50 moving average, then go to the 200 moving average and a buy. That's most likely what's going to happen. So price pulls back down, hits the 250 moving average, and go back up to the 200 moving average before reaching any significant resistance. That's basically the plan. So let me go back to USD CHF. So USD CHF, the same thing goes. I'm going to actually wait for price to hit somewhere around here, 0.8856, and then trade that back up and probably hold that till the 200 moving average right here on a daily, that 315 pips. So USD CHF, we're going to go for long. Entry Thursday. So basically, for now, what I'm going to analyze is these four trades. We have so many. If we check all the combinations, and I don't want to go too deep into it because I haven't really. This is my first time using this new probability data. They're quite new. They've been updated. So I think this 4 is sufficient. So these will be the 4 trades that we're going to be looking at this week. So Euro CHF long, entry will be on Monday, exit on Wednesday. Euro JPY long, entry Monday, exit on Wednesday. USD JPY long on Thursday, USD CHF long on Thursday. And those exits are tentative because what we can see is that from the USD, once USD lifts up from around here, it's not going to stop until the 13th. So that would be the ideal trading pattern for this week. Nasdaq. Okay, let's check Nasdaq. Stock probability. Let me quickly hit Nasdaq and see what we have on Nasdaq. Okay. Let's see. From Nasdaq, what we can see on Nasdaq is now I'm not gonna hit Nasdaq up until on the 8th. So on the 8th of February will be the best time to hit Nasdaq, and that's probably bullish all the way to the end of the year. This is massive. So hit down the hate and just ride that all the way to the end of the year. But keep in mind, we haven't checked any other data with this. There hasn't been any probability done for this year. I don't think so. Let me just check if the guys are putting the probability for NASDAQ. If there's a probability for it, then that'll be good. If not, let me check. No, there hasn't been any probability for NASDAQ. So what's going to happen is on the 8th will be the best entry time, and then just hold that for as long as possible. You understand? So that would be that's for next week. Actually, that won't be this week straight at all. That'll be next week, Monday straight. Okay. So far, is there any questions? We have 4 trades. We're gonna focus on just this 4 for now. I'm gonna re-verify that with you guys in the chat room in a moment. But we have 3 minutes left. So is there any questions at all? Yes. When you analyze the pair on the time frame scale down. Not necessarily. I don't really go down to 5 minutes to execute my trades. You understand? So let me say, for example, right now, I know, let me go back to by example. I know I want to go in right here on the 50 moving average, right? So I don't need to bog down to 5 minutes time frame. I just wait on the daily time frame for price to hit here. And once price hits that zone, I know that the next probable entry will be 8. So I want to get my entry between the 20 moving average and the 50 moving average. So I don't need to go to the smaller time frame to assess it. And what I do next is I just check my ATR. What's my ATR giving me as a stop loss? And this is giving me 5 and 45 pips as a stop loss. So if I go in here, for example, my stop loss is going to be somewhere around here, 45 pips, or I do ATR 1.5, which will give me a stop loss about over 50 pips, about 60 something pips right here. So there's no how the market goes, right? From my analysis and from what I've seen so far, if price comes back here, it will be very rare if we don't have a market manipulation for price to hit my stop loss. So if I enter the market around here, before price gets to my stop loss, it's going to take a while. So most likely I'm going to be in a profit zone for a while and lock myself in. So worst case scenario, I come out of this trade with a tiny bit of profit. I don't need to scale down to 5 minutes. No, I just stay on my daily chart, go into the trade, and I exit when the time of exit comes. So we only have one more question, and then we have to end the webinar. Yeah, so ATR is basically what we look is ATR. You load up your ATR on a 14 period, and what you tend to do is you look at the numbers right here. So in this case, for example, you have to ignore the 16. So he checks the past 14 candles here and check the size of the pips and does an average on that. It's called the average true range and does the average. And based on that average level, that's what you use to set your stop loss. So in this situation, for example, the average of 14 candles, the price has moved 45 pips. Most trade post is on fire. Yeah, many
Sorry,
people. I
really
mean, I
get.
don't
I
trade.
didn't
I
really
don't
get
trade
that.
on 5 minute time frame. Trading on 5 minute time frame, you're guaranteed to lose because you're only seeing a very tiny speck. Look at this right now. This is showing me 5 minutes, showing me this is going massively bearish, right? But if I look at that on a daily, I can tell it's not really bearish. It's a bullish trend. Okay. And that's why we don't trade on 5 minutes. So thank you very much for attending this week's webinar, guys. I'll update you on the new probability very soon on the chat room. And that's basically the entire time we have for today, guys. All right. Take care of yourself and thank you for attending today's webinar. These are the trades for this week. Euro CHF, Euro JPY, USD JPY, USD CHF. Take care, guys. Bye.